Today's Sunshine Note is titled, Days of Our Lives. O my son Absalom, my son Absalom, if only I had died instead of you, O Absalom, my son, my son. 2 Samuel 18:33. It began when they were teens. They watched their dad initiate an affair with a stunningly gorgeous woman, then discovered that he had also killed her husband so that he could marry her. Dad brought her home and thought he could quickly patch things up, but we know that these two sons never forgot it. It messed them up for the rest of their lives, and the sword never left his house as God had predicted. Their names were Absalom and Amnon. They were the sons of King David. Teens during his affair with Bathsheba, they grew up to model his reckless sexual behavior. Amnon was so attracted to his half-sister Tamar that he captured and raped her, following after his lust as dad had, instead of restraining himself. When older brother Absalom found this out, he so hated Amnon that years later he killed him. Though he knew this would grieve his father, he didn't care. He lost respect for him long before. After this murder, Absalom and David don't see each other for 5 years. But finally, David goes to him and welcomes him home with kisses. Absalom, however, is not softened. He spends the next 4 years gaining the allegiance of the people to himself, then tries to declare himself king. Eventually, war begins, and when David's men find Absalom hanging by his hair from a tree, they kill him. Instead of being relieved that the threat against himself is gone, David is heartbroken, sobbing for his son. You can read above that he wished that he had died instead. The story sounds more like a soap opera than the family history of the greatest king of Israel. And even though David was a godly king before and after his affair with Bathsheba, he was never able to erase the consequences of that sin. And Absalom, who had several chances to start over, never could quite recover from the bitterness he carried as a teenager. While the mistake started out as his father's, in the end it was his own. We can blame our parents for only so long. The choices you make today in your teenage life can follow you for a long, long time. Be careful what you choose, because with each choice you come closer and closer to the person you will be someday. May God bless you today.